Assalamu alaikum everyone. So today our topic is Pakistan development planning. Here we will discuss the 5 years plan of first plan to the last plan, that is 8 5-year plan from 1948 to 1998. So let us start with the Pakistan development planning. So the first year plans of national economy of Pakistan were the series of nationwide centralized economic plan and targets as part of the economic development and initiatives in Pakistan. The plan was conceived by the Minister of Finance and was studied and developed by the Economic Coordination Committee (ECC) based on the theory of cost of production value, and also covered the areas of trickle-down system. Supervision and the fulfillment of this program became the watchword of Pakistan's civil bureaucracy since early 1950s. Inspired by the 5-year plans of Soviet Union, the program was visioned and proposed by the Finance Minister Malik Ghulam to Prime Minister Liaquat Ali Khan, who initially backed the program in 1948. The first 5-year plans were approved by the Prime Minister Ali Khan in 1950. From the period of 1950 to 1955, it was accepted in a view to save in the rapid and the intensified industrialization expansion of banking and financial services, with a major focus on heavy industry. Although no 5-year plan did not take up the full period of time assigned to them, some of the plans were failed and abandoned, while obviously some completed successfully. Although there were 8 5-year plans starting from 1950 till 1999 and were replaced with the more effective program. So the medium effective program was the medium term development framework under Prime Minister Shaukat Aziz. So the Pakistan economy development planning begins in 1948. By 1950, a 6-year plan had been drafted to guide government investment in developing the infrastructure, but the initial effort was unsystematic, partially because of inadequate staffing. More formal planning, incorporating overall targets, assessing resource availability, and assigning priorities started in 1953 with the drafting of the first 5-year plan 1955 to 60. In practice, this plan was not implemented, however, mainly because political instability led to a neglect of economic policy. But in 1958, the government renewed its commitment to planning by the establishing the Planning Commission. So the first 5-year plan was in 1955 to 1960. The second 5-year plan was 1960 to 65, and the third 5-year plan was 1965 to 1970. The fourth 5-year plan was 1970 to 1975. The fifth 5-year plan was from 1978 to 1983. The sixth 5-year plan were 1983 to 88. The seventh 5-year plan were from 1988 to 1993, and the eighth 5-year plan were from 1993 to 1998. So let us start with the first 5-year plan. That is actually the history of these 5-year plans. So let us start with the 5-year plans in 1955 to 1960. So at the time of partition of British India by the United Kingdom, Pakistan was relatively underdeveloped country. The country's system of production, transportation, trade, and consumption yielded a low standard of living with little opportunity of education or economic advancement in the country. The industry and financial services were not existent in the country, and agriculture development was among the lowest in the world. The vast majority of population still lived in villages and was untouched by the scientific and technological development of the past 2 centuries. The partitions had a major effect on the country's existing economic infrastructure that distribute the wholesale transfers of population, trade, and business channel of communication, industrial and commercial organization, and pressing need to establish new provincial government. So economic planning began in 1948 when Prime Minister Liaquat Ali Khan presented the first 5-year plan at the Parliament of Pakistan on 8th July 1948. The first plan was conceived by the Minister of Finance and was studied and developed by the Economic Coordination Committee (ECC) based on the theory of cost of production value, and also covered trickle down economics. So as part of this program, the State Bank of Pakistan was established to give a kickstart to banking services in country. So the major economic infrastructure was quickly expanded, and the hiring gap as filled as government revenue began to rise. The current war with India following the devaluation of the British pound sterling and India refusal to recognize the Pakistani rupees in 1948 led to the deadlock in the Indian-Pakistan trade. So, in the middle of 1950, relations were restored when India and Pakistan resumed trade, and in February 1951, India finally formally recognized Pakistan's currency after entering in the new trade agreement, but ordered trade relations were not restored. The Korean War brought about an economic boom, but the growth declined after the assassination of Liaquat Ali Khan in October 1951. Moreover, effort to continue the program failed partly due to inadequate staff officers and lack of ambitions. In 1953, the program collapsed when storage of clothes, medicines, and other essential consumer goods arose. There was also a serious food shortage as a result of monsoon flood after 1951. So the Prime Minister Khwaja Nazimuddin was forced to end the program after requesting economic assistance from the US and other friendly countries. So if we see the reassessment and collectivizations, new studies were conducted in 1955 after the collapse of the first program. According to the consensus, over 90% of the population lived in the rural areas, while 10% lived in urban areas. In East Pakistan, the urban proportions was as low as 4.0% compared to 18.1% in West Pakistan, although the urbanization had been increased at an accelerated level. In 1955, Prime Minister Muhammad Ali Bogra again revived the plan and published it in 1956. After reassessment, the program was launched again with agriculture development as the highest priority and strong emphasis placed on the rapidly increased development effort in East Pakistan and in the less developed areas of West Pakistan. So Prime Minister Hussain Sarwardi of Awami League gave much priority to food development, agriculture and social development in both states. The concept of collective farming was introduced by Sohrawardy as a part of his agriculture policy, and around 27.0 million rupees were spent in order to organize the agriculture in the country. However, this program was built entirely in absence of much essential information and basic statistics. In practice, this plan was not implemented because of its enormous size. The shortage of technology also devastated the program. The Awami League government also had shortage of foreign exchange to execute the plan and was unable to find other outside assistance to fulfill its commitment to the 5 years plan, first 5 year plan. The second 5 year plan was 1960-65. Despite the failure of first 5 year plans, the program were revived and restated by the military government of President Ayub Khan. The second 5 year plans gave the highest priority to heavy industrial development and advancement in literature and science, and had a single underlying purpose, that is to advance the country as far as possible within the next 5 years along the road of these long range objectives. So further improvements were made in railways, communications and transportation. More attention was given to the private sector industrial development and agriculture industries. The second 5 year plans aimed to increase the national income by 20%. So the unemployment was tackled with the industrialization of country, and overall major industrial development was carried out in West Pakistan while few in East. The second 5 year plan surpassed its major goals when all sectors showed substantial growth, which also encouraged private entrepreneurs to participate in those activities in which a great deal of profit could be made, while the government acted in those sectors of economy where private business was reluctant to operate. So this mix of private enterprises and social responsibilities was hailed as a model that other developing countries could follow. So the second 5 year plans oversaw the development of water and power utilities in East and West Pakistan and had energy sector built with the help from private sector. So the financial services heavily dependent on the foreign investment and aid from the United States that bolstered the economy. The second 5 year plans were quite a big success, but it was partially due to generous infusion of foreign aid, particularly from the United States. Here is the third 5 year plan that was from 1965 to 1970. After the 1965 Indo-Pakistani war over Kashmir, the level of foreign assistance declined and economic constraints were imposed on Pakistan. The third 5 year plan was designed along the line of its intermediate reprocessors produced only modest growth. The country had become urbanized by 1970, and only 10% population lived in rural areas as compared to 1950. The third five-year plans promoted the activities of private sector investment and tend to increase the directly productive investment for the stable financial sector development. So the third program focused on GNP, gross national product growth, which was increased at 122% and had focused on the enhancing the capabilities of private sector to the operate in the country. So the size of third program was determined in the light of careful evaluation of the recent experience under the second program. Although the third program successfully ran from the first 3 years of the third five-year plan, but at the end the third program proved to be even more of the disappointment in the term of proclaimed production goals. The performance of third program was undeniable that led the economical disaster in the country. Dramatically, the agriculture growth sharply declined and disparately devastated the farming class of the country. So let's move to the next five-year plan, that is fourth five-year plan from 1970 to 1975. The fourth five-year plan were abandoned after the fall of Dhaka, East Pakistan. Visually, all 4 5 years planning was bypassed by the government of Prime Minister Zulfikar Ali Bhutto. Under Bhutto, only annual plans were prepared and they were largely ignored. The fourth five-year plan was replaced with the nationalization program, which featured as intense level of government ownership management on private entities. So only scientific aspects of fourth five-year plans were adopted in a new to turn Pakistan into a major scientific superpower in the world. So look at to the fifth five-year plan 1978 to 1983. The Zia government accorded more importance to planning. The fifth five-year plan 1978 to 1983 was an attempt to stabilize the economy and improve the standard of living of poorest segment of the population. Increased defense expenditures and a flood of refugees to Pakistan after the Soviet invasion of Afghanistan in December 1979, as well as the sharp increase in international oil price in 1979 to 80, drew resources away from planned investment, and nevertheless some of the plans goals were attained. Many of controls on industrials were liberalized or abolished. The balance of payment deficit was kept under control, and Pakistan became self-sufficient in all basic foodstuff with the exception of edible oils. Yet the plan failed to stimulate substantial private industrial investment and to rise the significantly the expenditure on rural infrastructure development. The sixth five-year plan. Here look to the sixth five-year plan from 1983 to 88. The sixth five-year plan represented a significant shift toward the private sector It was designed to tackle some of the major problems of economy that are low investment and saving ratio, low agriculture and productivity, heavy reliance on imported energy, and low spending on health and education. The economy grew at the targeted average of 6.5% during the plan period and have exceeded the target if it had not been for the severe droughts in 1986 to 1987. So here is the seventh 5-year plan. The second last 5-year plan is from 1988 to 1993. So the seventh plans provided for total public sector spendings of 350 billion rupees. If this total total 36.5% was designed for energy, 8% for transportation and communication, 9% for water, 8% for physical infrastructure and the infrastructure and the housing, and 7% for education, 5% for industry and minerals, 4% for health, and 11% for other sectors. The plan gave much greater emphasis than before to private investment in all sectors of economy. Total planned private investment was 292 billion, and the private to public ratio of investment was expected to rise from 42 to 58 in 1988 to 48 to 52 in 1993. It was also intended that public sector corporation finance most of their own investment program through benefits and borrowing. In August 1991, the government established a working group on private investment for the 8th 5-year plan 1993 to 1998. So the 8th 5-year plan 1993 to 1998 is the last plan of 5-year plan. So this group gave which included leading industrialized presidents of chambers of commerce and senior civil servants, submitted its report in late 1992. However, in earlier 1994, the 8th plan had not yet been announced, mainly because the successive changes of government in 1993 forced minister to focus on short-term issues. Intended economic policy for FY 1994 was being guided by an annual plan. So from June 2004, the Planning Commission gave a new name to the 5-year plan medium term development framework (MTDF). 32 working group then produced the MTDF 2005 to 2010.